אזרחי ישראל, אנחנו במלחמה. לא במבצע, לא בסבבים, במלחמה.
Dear friends, will our people courageously defend themselves against surges of violence and hatred? You might wonder why I celebrate this entry into Jewish womanhood at such a dark time. Well, let me tell you a little bit about myself. I'm Sara. When the whole pagan world served the gods of wood and stone, my husband Abraham and I shaped a generation to believe in the one true God. I became the mother of the Jewish nation. I'm Rivka, called the rose among thorns, as I chose to be kind and honest despite being raised in a community of swindlers. I pushed my son Jacob to boldly seize great eternal blessings that define Jewish history forever. I'm Rachel, relinquishing the treasured burial spot near my beloved husband so that years later my children can pray by my grave while being led into exile. I sacrificed my dreams to intercede with Hashem and guarantee my children's salvation. I'm the slave woman in Egypt, convincing my enslaved husband to bring more children to this nation despite unimaginable suffering. I fashioned a small tambourine and kept it close, trusting that Hashem's promise of our redemption would yet come. I got to dance with it together with thousands of Jewish sisters crossing the Red Sea. I'm Chana, barren and childless. I dare to walk into the tabernacle and pray, the new way of connecting with God. I whisper a personal prayer asking for a child. Misunderstood at first, my service was then canonized into Jewish tradition as my dear son, the prophet Shmuel, was born. I'm Esther, crowned Queen of Persia against my will. I had every right to live as a victim, but knew that God placed me there for a reason. And when the time came, I was able to thwart evil Haman's decree and save the entire Jewish destiny. I'm Yehudit. When Jewish women and girls were routinely being defiled during the Assyrian Greek oppression, I took matters into my own hands, entering alone into the general's tent and killing him. When the army saw their fearsome commander dead, they fled in terror, giving way to the Maccabees' victory of Hanukkah. I'm Rachel. I fell in love with an illiterate 40-year-old shepherd and encouraged him to begin his journey of Torah. I joyfully supported his 24 years in yeshiva, enabling him to become one of the greatest Jewish sages of all time, Rabbi Akiva. I am a Jewish woman of the Holocaust, who despite the horrors and undeniable traumas, chose to marry, rebuild, and have many children. The answer was to keep going, building a better future. I am my great-grandmother's Jewish woman in Soviet Russia, surviving the grunt and political strife of the Tsar's regime. To immerse myself in the frigid waters of the Mitzvah, I would break the ice of the local river no matter what the circumstance. I knew the purity, wholeness, and integrity of the Jewish people is for me to sustain. I am my grandmother's, immigrants fleeing communist Russia to ultimately raise beautiful Hasidic families, following in the teachings of the Lubavitcher Rebbe, a true example of determination and strength. I am Sara, raised here in beautiful Cancun, Mexico, away from our extended family and accessible Jewish life. I am a Jewish princess and warrior of life. I stand on the shoulders of giants. I am those women. In the merit of the Jewish women, we will bring redemption. This is the destiny of our generation. It's what we've been told by the Lubavitcher Rebbe. So yes, today I celebrate. I envision a bright future for the Jewish people and for all the nations of the world. With all our history, with all our victories, this one will be the final and ultimate one. When we win this war, let us go home, home to our truest selves, home to Hashem, home to Yerushalayim. We are ready. Am Yisrael Chai.